in qualifying. GC Racing kind of fell off the pace that we saw them earlier in the day in testing. They were really running well, but they finished strong, taking second overall in the race to XINSURANCE South. You see there on the right side of your screen.
Yeah, I texted with Grant yesterday afternoon because I missed him in the pits, and he said, yeah, they just they were a little off on a couple things, but the team worked hard and they're got it back to where they wanted it to be able to make a strong run today. So second place.
Yes, sir. No, great.
So they're still in the points
for Willie and Grant. There's your X South, the orange canopy boat, the neon green canopy boat to the left, the XINSURANCE North. With
XINSURANCE South is a Victory hull.
47 Victory with twin steps, unique steps too. They're jagged. They're like shark teeth. It's made to aerate water and help get the boat up. Moving out to the green flag and to
the milling area.
Into the milling area.
And the XINSURANCE South is also a BPM surface drives with a rudder. XINSURANCE North is Mercury number 6 drives with a rudder. And the other two boats are Mercury Racing number 6s that turn. So they get the tunnel tab, while the rudder boats do not have the tunnel tab.
Boats motoring out. XINSURANCE North. The MTI hull. There's your grid against the Chicago skyline one more time. Getting ready to mill and start this 12-lap, nearly 60-mile race.
Yeah, this will 12 laps is enough to see if someone set up for the start too much or if it's going to come to them later. It may not be determined as quickly as, like the running order is just going to stay after they get through a few laps. Something could come to one of the teams later if they set up for when the fuel burns off, but they all have to stay pretty close to each other if they want to make a shot at the end. You can't really let one run away.
Looking out off the bow of the XINSURANCE South as they're moving towards Navy Pier. They'll be milling far north of that. Down at turn number 5 on the far east end of this course. It's important to note, you talked about the different propulsion systems. There's varying choices of propellers between the two, between the shafted rudder boat and the number 6 drive boats.
Yeah, the number 6s, they're not limited on the number of propellers they can have available to them. Earlier this year, the BPM boats, because they can do a quick change on the gears themselves, were limited to 3 propellers. They changed that. They doubled the amount that you can have available now to 6 sets of props. And it just kind of levels the playing field in terms of what you can put on there. And the cool thing about this view is this is the view that Britt and Bill have from inside the boat. This is what they're looking at 100 and whatever miles an hour.
We see orange smoke coming off the pace boat, so we will shortly have the start of Pro Class 1 racing here in Chicago.
Was that your boat we just saw in the background there, that big one?
Yeah, man, how'd you know?
That's where we're going later?
Yes, sir. It's a nice day for a cruise here. We're going to have a little bit of time afterwards before the award ceremony. What an amazing weekend it's been here in Chicago. The sights and sound, home of the Cubs and the White Sox, the Chicago Bears, and they're hoping for big things from the Bears this year.
The Bears. Who's the new quarterback? I can't remember his name for the Bears.
Caleb Williams.
Williams, that's right.
Yep, former USC quarterback.
And they really want to see this new coach and him mesh.
Yes, sir.
It's all over SportsCenter every other day.
But today we're talking about powerboat racing in Chicago with its great food and hospitality and Midwest
and their
sensibilities.
They're bringing them up on plane.
Great music around this town. Come and enjoy whenever you can. So the Pro Class 1 boats getting up and getting set to race here. Final race of this weekend.
The first 3/4 lap does count as a full lap. So can't imagine they're not going to release them pretty quick. By the looks of that, there goes
They have been
XINSURANCE
released.
South.
Yep, XINSURANCE South jetting out from the number 1 lane position.
Wow, did Bill nail that? But look at Grant and Willie right next to him.
From the cockpit of XINSURANCE South as they head to that wide sweeping turn, and again looking down the chute under the tunnels of the 4 boats racing here in Chicago today in Pro Class 1. That's XINSURANCE South on the inside line. Back to your lead boat, heading out towards the number 1 turn, 3-pin turn, wide sweeping turn here.
And they don't have the rule anymore. I don't believe that you have to hold your lane through turn 1. You get two overlap lengths of 2 boat length overlap. You can go wherever you want.
But XINSURANCE South has the inside lane. They continue around. GC Racing holding second. This will be the first of 12 laps here today. Overhead from the XINSURANCE Helicam, in the back looking down towards the east. See the XINSURANCE North boat on the outside lane. Flipping the pin and now heading eastbound. Britt Lilly with a good turn. Bill Pyburn putting down his tunnel tab and the throttles all the way down. Turbo lag out and those 1100s into full boost. XINSURANCE South in the lead here in Pro Class 1. End of lap number 1. Second was GC Racing, XINSURANCE North in third. It appears
Monster in fourth.
in fourth.
Wait a minute. XINSURANCE might have just gotten around GC. We'll have to see here. I mean, they're on the outside, GC's on the inside, but
So XINSURANCE North was in second by 3 seconds. GC in third. IMCON 10 seconds off the leader. So it's XINSURANCE North behind XINSURANCE South. GC in third.
well, if you think about it, for Britt and Bill, they both have to do a bit of a reset, getting out of the Super Cat and climbing right into this boat, because they do things differently in terms of, like you said, with the throttling and the twin turbos of the 1100s versus the naturally aspirated Super Cats. So it's got to be a pretty quick mental reset, because they were just out there.
Looks like XINSURANCE North in the center of that grid there. As they came over.
To the right of your screen is XINSURANCE South leading the way.
Yeah, but JJ Turk and Nick Buis looking good in second. They're 5 seconds off the lead. GC Racing 8 seconds off the pace of XINSURANCE South, and IMCON 11 seconds back. So yes, XINSURANCE North, JJ Turk and Nick Buis of Statement Marine holding second here today, with GC Racing on their stern.
And we talked yesterday about the learning curve that JJ Turk has had for the last year, and it's been steep. This is the first cat he's raced as a driver, so I'd say he's picking it up pretty quick.
Pro Class 1 boats now back in front of the spectators here on the shoreline to complete lap number 2 of 12. MTI of XINSURANCE North. GC Racing, Willie Cabeza, Grant Bruggeman in third. Back to North. XINSURANCE South clocks through at 112.8 miles an hour on its first full lap. There goes the number 2 boat, XINSURANCE North, but there are your leaders in the 47 Victory, Pyburn and Lilly. XINSURANCE North 5 seconds off the pace of the leader. GC 9, and MCON 13.5. Tyler and Myrick not having that quick pace we expected out of the 438 skater. Great shot overhead as we look on the Chicago skyline and our grid heading on the outbound leg once again into Lake Michigan. From the Helicam, the X Insurance North team.
Boat's carrying well. Nick's got it trimmed where he wants it, so it's minimal resistance and good and level.
Watching these Pro Class 1 teams skim the water, keeping the props connected and moving forward. X Insurance North still maintaining a 5-second deficit. GC falling back a couple of seconds after the eastbound turn, 11 seconds now, and MCON still right at about 14 seconds off the pace. Willie and Grant into the 3-pin turn.
This is their first season in that boat. I think they've podiumed at every race, if I'm not mistaken.
They're a great duo, and Willie Cabeza is a proud offshore powerboat racer, campaigning 2 boats, also in the factory stock class, and jumping now up to Pro Class 1 with Grant from Grant Signature Racing in Bradenton, Florida. A high-performance hub, not only rigging race boats, but poker run boats and pleasure boats. Overhead,
and
the X Insurance South team.
A key integral element to the success of Grant Signature is Kelly Bruggeman. So
watch them come in for the completion of their 3rd lap here. That lap turned at 112.2 miles an hour. Turning this boat as strong as they did the 388 skater in Supercat in their win earlier. Pyburn and Lilly. X Insurance South leading by 6 over X Insurance North, 13 to 3rd place and 17 seconds in front of 4th place Monster Energy. Big day for the X Insurance teams. They're running 1-2 here.
And the Dirty Money crew is basically the X Insurance South crew as well, if I'm not mistaken. So they've had a heck of a weekend so far.
TJ Rand he's worked hands in hand with Bobby Adams of the Dirty Money race team. Working on this team with the crew on this 47 victory.
I was just talking, I happened to run into the dad of the guy who hauls the boats for the team. They said they hired Bobby when he was 16. He started working for Geico and some of the other big names in the sport, and he's just worked his way up as a crew member to where he's running the show now for Dirty Money and X Insurance South.
Grid kind of holding their places on that outbound leg there. 6 seconds ahead of X Insurance North is Bill Pyburn and Britt Lilly in the X Insurance South team. It's like MCON is falling back even further, 20 seconds now. They've lost about 9 seconds over the last lap and a half.
Yeah, that could raise a Guardian question, possibly, or a setup question. You know, we'll have to wait and find out.
Eric will, of course, find time tonight to write the entire story of the 2 days of racing and find out the answers to those questions for you, posting it tomorrow at speedonthewater.com. Back to your leaders. X Insurance South, Dirty Money Race Team, Bill Pyburn, Britt Lilly. Back to the number 2 boat, the 43 MTI with Turk and Buis.
Ends lap 4 out of 12, so we're 33% of the way through.
That lap turn at 113.03. completing this 4.9, roughly 4.9 mile course in about 2 minutes, 36 seconds. So X-Insurance North still staying about 5.5 seconds off the lead, but your third and fourth place boats are falling back off, even further. GC Racing now back to 20 seconds off the leader. MCon went from 20 to 24 in that half lap.
I'd be surprised if Jack Pyburn wasn't watching his dad, but wonder if any of the other LSU players are joining him, watching the live stream.
Could be a little watch party there, and they're celebrating their win over Clemson last night. Bill making plans to attend all the games of LSU, and even working it in to his race in Clearwater, just as he did last night, flying out of here and getting to Clemson. He's lucky, though, when he goes to the Key West World Championships, they play on Saturday, and we don't race on Saturday.
Okay. But the schedules clash again for Clearwater?
Yep. So our leaders, X-Insurance South, still about 5.5 seconds ahead of North, and GC Racing's fallen off another 3 seconds. And 1 second MCon just in that last half lap.
I'd be surprised if one or both aren't having some other kind of problem to fall back.
MCon,
it just doesn't look like they're showing the same.
GC Racing there just doesn't look like they've got their speed today.
They look like they're laboring now.
They do. I'll tell you, in testing yesterday, I thought they really looked strong.
Yeah. But then in qualifying, they were kind of,
They were.
So,
well,
we'll have to see.
Those guys will stay at it. X-Insurance South coming in. We're not yet at the halfway point of this X-Insurance Chicago Nationals. Tell you what, X-Insurance North is staying on them. Still right at just a shade under 113 miles an hour, but Buis and Turk are not letting up.
No, this is the best run we've seen out of them so far.
And the team getting that boat back together, a couple of transmission problems, and now you may have a battle for third place going on now.
And now they look like they've both picked up, and whatever issues they may have been having, now they look fast again.
They're still falling back a bit, but GC's only 2 seconds ahead of MCon, who is looking to move up onto the podium today.
Yeah, they're both thinking big picture right now in terms of points. They just want to try to keep it together to get the finish. Because attrition could hit somebody before 12 laps is over, let's put it that way.
Again, the two-pin turn on the east side of the Chicago shoreline. Now our two leaders in third and fourth boats are coming around and heading, we call it eastbound, but it's kind of more like east-northeast bound.
Yeah.
This course is not exactly east-west, but tilting a little bit more to the east-northwest and west-southwest. X-Insurance North about 2.5 seconds closer to X-Insurance South on that half lap. But GC and MCon still falling back of the two top boats.
This looks to me like GC and MCon Monster are side by side right now.
That's Monster.
There's Monster pulling on the inside to try to make a move here.
Does look like certainly they can get to the pin. A lot of the advantage around the turn there. And so Monster edging ahead there. And looks like when they come back on the inbound leg, they could have moved into third.
But credit to Willie for driving right alongside Myrick, who is a lot more experienced than Willie does at the wheel.
See the Monster Energy team chased by GC Racing. That's a battle for third there, and MCon has now moved on to the top three.
We are halfway through for XINSURANCE South and North.
Yeah, off the camera, XINSURANCE South has just completed lap number 5. Number 6.
Yep.
Here comes IMCON now in control of 3rd place. The Monster Energy race team, run by the IMCON crew, 2-time Supercat World Champions, out of Wathena, Texas. IMCON, an underground excavation company, owned by Tyler Miller, the throttle man. Driver Myrick Coyle of Performance Boat Center. So they now have taken command of 3rd place. GC Racing falls back to 4th. XINSURANCE North was 5.75 seconds off the lead, so they lost about a second on this inbound leg. IMCON's 31 seconds now behind the leader, so the 3rd and 4th boats continue to fall back from the top 2 here. We're at the halfway point. All of our Pro Class 1 teams with their quad cam 4-valve Mercury 1100 turbocharged engines out and running after a nice day on Saturday, qualifying and racing a half lap race. We will still take the points from yesterday, cumulative points, as we did with Supercat earlier, to determine who the overall winner of the XINSURANCE Chicago Nationals is. On top with boat that has just stubbornly stayed place in 2nd, trailing the leader.
They want that podium finish.
You can see them still holding in there.
Monster Energy, new boat are going to go under construction later this year, so they'll have a new boat for 2026 in Class 1, Pro Class 1. Say hello to Peter Ledden and the crew at Skater, Douglas Marine. Wish them well.
Looking at your number 2 boat on screen, Buis and Turk in XINSURANCE North. From the XINSURANCE Helicam.
That was a boat that was upside down in Key West a couple years ago. And it looks very good now.
Flyback, blew over backwards.
Yep.
They're holding 2nd place. Dirty Money ran their fastest lap of the day just now, 1:14.7. Monster Energy 438 skater.
Stretching things out a little bit over GC MTI.
So XINSURANCE South moved about 2 seconds further in front of North on lap number 7 now with a 7.75 second lead. IMCON and GC Racing continue to fall off. They're 36 and 41 seconds off the leader. So they're pulling away from those guys, but there's still a race between those two, although Monster is about 5 seconds ahead of the 4th place GC Racing team.
Yeah, we're not in a place yet where anyone can say, okay, we just need to keep it together. They still have to keep running, and we're on 8 out of 12, so when they come by this time, we'll be 75% of the way through, right?
That's right.
Or that would be 9 out of 12.
Close to it.
Yeah.
Live coverage here from Chicago, brought to you in part by Maximum Inflation. The new Maximus Quick Tire Inflation Kit by Maximum Inflation is the only U.S.-made valve that uses CO2 cartridges for your side-by-side motorcycle or ATV. Your machine got you there. The Maximus Quick Tire Inflation Kit gets you home. Our leaders from the XINSURANCE Helicam, XINSURANCE South, and trailing in 2nd, the North team. North team with the neon green cockpit top. Our leader, XINSURANCE South, capped with orange. What a run for this team.
And the happiest guy again, Rick Lindsay, owner of XINSURANCE.
Teams fulfilling their sponsorship here this weekend in Chicago. With your third and fourth boats coming into the picture, Monster Energy on the left and GC Racing to the right. So XINSURANCE South, we just turned that lap at 113.1, which their fastest lap was just on the previous, now 9.5 seconds ahead of the North boat. So they distanced the spread just a little bit. And again, the 3 and 4 boats continue to fall back now at 38 and 44 seconds off the pace of XINSURANCE South. Looking back at the Chicago sideline as XINSURANCE South sets up for that sweeping turn on the east end, 3 pins. They've been pegging it all day in 2 different classes.
And most likely loving every minute of it.
And so much of this sport is entry and exit speed, no matter what class you're in.
Yeah,
and the Dirty Money XINSURANCE South team.
I did an interview with Michael Peters, the famous boat designer, the other day, and when he first started designing Class 1 boats in Europe, he said he had to learn to slow them down because they were winning the race to the first pin, but they weren't staying together for the whole race. So he had to evolve, and the whole team had to evolve to go more for consistency than just flat out speed. You know, expert veteran racers will tell you, you got to learn to have the fastest lap, not the fastest one part of the course.
And the renowned yacht designer Michael Peters designed this 47-foot Victory Hull of XINSURANCE South, former Spirit of Qatar boat. It's Steve Curtis, the legendary racer, teamed up with Sheikh Jabor bin Al Thani. So our top 2 boats with XINSURANCE North in the trail, the number 11 team of JJ Turk and Nick Buis, and the 43 MTI with a hybrid fixed number 6 surface drives, skegs cut off, and a rudder between them to turn.
Monster Energy holding third. They're comfortably in front of GC Racing, MTI, the 2 newest boats in the class.
3 laps left here in Chicago Nationals presented by XINSURANCE. North continuing to drop off another second or so. I think they're resigned to take second, but they're 30 seconds ahead of third place, IMCON. XINSURANCE North with their best outing of their rookie season. 9.5 seconds behind your leader here on screen, XINSURANCE South. They are quickly establishing themselves as the hottest boat in Pro Class 1 racing right now.
Yeah, there's another 47 victory we'd like to see them matched up against, but that remains to be seen if it's going to happen. As they race against the Chicago skyline, and the boat we would want to see, the livery, is the New York skyline.
XINSURANCE South turning again in towards the fans here in Chicago. There'll be 2 laps left after this one, coming in off of turn number 3, heading back in. Beautiful shot of that 47 Victory hull from the X Insurance Helicam. Now you can see from shore Rick Lindsay and Neil Mellis on board with the shots and riding right by X Insurance South.
And we should say hello to someone who would usually be in that helicopter as he continues to recuperate. Jeff Girardi from Freeze Frame Video. Hope Jeff is doing well and to see him back out at a race soon.
There's your top two boats from the X Insurance camp, south and north. And Buis and Turk continue to hold that 9.5 second deficit here with 2 laps to go. We look at Monster Energy on the left, Marine Technologies GC Racing on the right. There's Monster, Tyler and Myrick. Won the World Points Championship last year. Had the honor of going to Monaco to receive their medals and presentations. That's quite an honor. And for a team that's accomplished so much.
Right? The Sam Griffith too?
The Sam Griffith Trophy, yes.
This is a brand new boat this year. So it's it's good to see Willie Cabeza teaming up with the support of MTI and Randy Sism to have a new Class 1 boat out here. That is a big commitment.
And a campaign too, still racing the factory stock team. Great pairing there. I like the feel of the Cabeza Bruggeman team.
Yeah, I mean, Willie seems like
he's very low key.
He's low key, but he also knows he has to learn, and he's willing to say, "Okay, Grant, let's work together here."
And he wants to win.
Yes,
and he's focused. And no one is more diligent and put together than Grant Bruggeman of Grant Signature Racing.
That he's all about the little details.
X Insurance South coming around again, penultimate lap of this race, holding a 10.5 second lead with only a lap and a half left to go. And the third and fourth place boats now 44 and 53 seconds behind. Almost a full minute now. 11 laps in. So look back at the Monster Energy race team. 1 lap left to go for X Insurance South.
I talked to Britt Lilly, and you did too, after Michigan City when they won their first races in that boat. I think he said he spent more time in the month leading up to that race in Stewart testing than he did at home. So that's the commitment that they've made to being successful. Because when you have a spec class, everyone's running the same engine, there's only so many variables other than just getting better at your role in the boat.
You're tuned to the X Insurance Chicago Nationals from the Porte Broadcast Center. Porte Products, leaders in marine technology and builder of the Porte hydraulic transom lift system, the most advanced in the world. Lifts 1,000 horsepower per engine with horsepower capacities of 1,000 per engine, carrying up to 1,500 pounds of weight per engine. Let them build one for you at porteproducts.com. On to the last lap of this 12-lap Pro Class 1 race. Still X Insurance North now at a 10-second lead over the number 2 boat, or X Insurance South with a 10-second lead over North. So we look back at your number 4 boat, Marine Technologies, and a last look at the Chicago skyline in the backdrop as X Insurance South makes the enter into the wide sweeping 3-pin turn on the east end of this course here in the windy city of Chicago. Big day for Bill Pyburn, the throttle man. Co-owner of the teams.
Big weekend.
Yeah, big weekend. One already in Super Cat, and with his driver and co-pilot Britt Lilly, they're poised here to take another checkered flag today at the Race World Offshore XINSURANCE Chicago Nationals. A 9.5-second lead over the second place boat. It's all done, but the waving of the checkered flag for XINSURANCE South. This will be 4 consecutive wins for them in racing in Michigan City and Chicago over 2 days.
And they've all been convincing. There's been no like, oh, this one's at the nose.
And here taking the checkered flag in Chicago, Bill Pyburn and Britt Lilly in XINSURANCE South. Another win in Pro Class 1 here today.
Second place goes to JJ Turk and Nick Buis in XINSURANCE North in their best finish of the year. And they were the top qualifier for the weekend, so really step up in progress for them. Glad to see that happen.
Had them turning
what was
that
your top
lap
speed for the
113 miles an hour.
Okay.
Right where they pretty much stayed all day. They did turn one lap at 114.9. Monster Energy will take third place here in Chicago today. Tyler Miller, Myrick Coyle.
But I don't know if that'll get him on the podium. That should get him on the podium for the weekend because
yeah, they had a third place yesterday.
Yeah, so third and third.
The question
we'll
will
have
be,
to see.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking about flopping points from GC Racing, who finished second yesterday, fourth today.
And then
they would win the tiebreaker because XINSURANCE North didn't go around the course as far. But we got to look at that extra point that's being calculated today. So,
and that's why I majored in journalism, because I don't do math.
And once again,
I'll let others calculate that.
The XINSURANCE South team finishes 9 seconds in the end in front of XINSURANCE North. IMCON 37 seconds off the leader. GC Racing 45 seconds off the leader. There you have it.
Heck of an inaugural weekend in Chicago.
Absolutely. And special thanks to all of the teams that came, all the bracketed class teams that came, and prove that we can actually race in a major U.S. city, in a major city where there is so much of a maritime community here, sailing and motorboat community.
Well, the great thing too was all the people who were like, "When's it start? Tell me more about it." You know, there's definite interest here, and it's just a matter of getting the word out a little more every time you come back to a venue.
Well, these reels are going to be all over the news channels tonight, this weekend here in Chicago. So we look at our winners from XINSURANCE South, the 47 Victory Hull. Bill Pyburn, Britt Lilly, victorious here today. Pro Class 1 boats powered by twin quad cam 4-valve Mercury turbocharged engines, QC4V engine. As Nick Buis and JJ Turk pass through with a happy second place finish here today.
And we'd be remiss if we didn't congratulate the XINSURANCE South and Dirty Money crews, led by, as we had mentioned, Bobby Adams and TJ Rand, because these boats don't run without a good team behind them. And at this point, you got to wonder if the other Class 1, Pro Class 1 boats are just saying, what do we have to do? Where'd these guys come from, and what do we have to do now to...
Well, you know the mettle of those.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they're going to work harder. And they've learned
there
so
were a
much.
couple of Class 1 boats that weren't here today. You know, that I'm sure they're home kind of watching this going, all right, we better step up our game.
And that's what racing's all about. It's about competition and
Let's see if they make a better throw to Britt this time.
Yeah, let's see if they do. He was just putting his X sign up in victory.
That's the XINSURANCE. There you go.
Getting the checkered flag.
They need a rail down the center of that boat for him to hook his toes under. And then he can stand up there and wave the flag with some stability.
Here is Britt Lilly waving the checkered flag in victory here in Chicago for XINSURANCE South Dirty Money Racing Team.
I'm betting Bill's now feeling a little tired. now that the adrenaline is wearing off. But good for him. What a weekend.